Thank you for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. I'm your host, Michelle White, and I'm going to be talking to you personally about some things this evening. We did have a guest, but for whatever reason, I guess she was not able to make it, but that's okay. Things happen, and we've got to stay optimistic. Um, so I had that song ready to queue up to come in, but it went away. That's all right. I'll play it at the end. So, right here on Community Updates, you're listening to us live on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Again, I'm your host, Michelle White, and you've tuned in to Community Updates. We're here live every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. And I'm taking a class right now um, on social media. And I'm also taking a grant writing class, and I'll tell you about that a little later. But one of the things that they asked in the class is, what is your why for why you're doing what you're doing? And my why um, for why I am doing this podcast is because I've always been a person that can access resources, or I know how to search for things or information. I've just been an information lady. They used to call me the information lady, the resource lady. But what I've seen in one of my readings is that it says that people perish because of a lack of knowledge. And I don't want to see anybody perish. And so, because that's a gift, and I do know it's a gift that God has given to me to be able to tap into resources and share things with people. I want to see other people have that same information. It still amazes me. I'm going to give you just an example. There is free food being given out every day, Monday through Friday. Gleaners and Forgotten Harvests are national organizations. They give out food every day. All you have to do is go to their websites or their Facebook page. But yet there's still people walking around hungry, still people that aren't aware of that information. So as I'm sharing things with you, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Share the information, whether verbally or on your social media. Don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with someone else. So again, you're tuned in right here to Community Updates, and we're on. You can listen to us on Wednesdays on WJZZ Cool TV's Facebook page or on YouTube. And then I'm on other streaming platforms, Instagram and Facebook. And as I'm taking these classes, I'm going to be on even more. So you'll see me on more streaming platforms. But we are around the world airing and showing the information. So if you want to be a sponsor or have guests that you would like to see come on or topics that you would like to hear, be sure and give me a call. You can reach me at 248 4863. And one of our sponsors is ABB Wealth Strategies, and they give you peace of mind by helping show you how to take money that you currently have maybe in investments or and diversify it so that you can have even more during retirement or in preparation for retirement, as well as they show you how to start a retirement fund, one that's going to give you maximum little effort with maximum result and return on your investment. So give them a call at 248 988 8200. Again, that's 248 988 8200. Let them know you heard about it right here on WJZZ. Todd Bernstein is the owner of ABB Wealth Strategies, and he sits down with all of our clients personally and helps them. And even your first visit is free. Your first consultation, is complimentary, no cost. This coming Tuesday, there is a film. You can have complimentary movie tickets, popcorn at the Sterling Heights MJR Theater at 6:30. Give them a call. It's a wonderful film. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you have great information. It's really good. It's called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. And again, this coming Tuesday, February the 11th, it will be held at the MJR Theater in Sterling Heights at 6:30 p.m. Arrive early because you can register. You have to register when you get to the movie theater, so you want to get there at least by 5:30. That's this coming Tuesday, February the 11th, at the MJR Theater in Sterling Heights. The film is being showed all around, so they'll have other locations if that doesn't happen to be in your immediate area. But they're showing it in other locations, which we'll be sharing, and then I share everything on my Instagram and Facebook page. I'm Michelle Turner White on both, so you can find me and find a myriad information. But again, my why is, communities need stronger communication skills to effectively address issues and to build trust and to foster collaboration, to help ensure that everyone feels heard, that and ultimately we can all work together to solve the problems and address common goals, reach common goals, and address different concerns that we have within our communities. But it takes all of us to do that. Not one person, not two people, but we all have to help to build stronger communities. And right here with Community Updates, one of our main goals is to build stronger relationships with communities around the world. So, again, we thank you for tuning in right here to Community Updates on WJZZ, the coolest station in the world. We have a lot of wonderful guests that we're going to be having this year. And matter of fact, next week we're going to have the Afro American, the Charles H. Wright African American Museum. And we have some other museums and some other people of color that will be coming on and speaking of various things that are of interest during this, and particularly during this Black History Month. But because Black History Month is not just a month, it's going to spill over until next month as well. And I think we should always celebrate our history. Whatever culture you are, you should always celebrate that culture. Some of you know that I work in prison ministry. So we're going to have different things. I've been going to prisons both Huron Valley Women's Prison and Macomb County Correctional Facility, Men's Facility, for over 20 years. And so we're going to have different points and different topics of discussion on how we're helping people both while they're incarcerated and then when they become returning citizens. We're hoping to have a young lady, Dr. Sabrina, who's housing. She's got 100 homes that she's housing returning citizens. We're looking forward to having her on as a guest. And then I have a foundation called the White Foundation, spelled WYTE. And we are, along with the Lions Club International, helping to furnish those homes as well as many other homes. To date, we furnished almost 3,500 homes for people throughout the metro greater Detroit area. And the next state we're moving to is Texas. But we're going to take it around the world because I had a situation in my life where I was homeless and had to start life all over. Yes, I said it. I was homeless. And because of a series of events and things that had happened, and primarily because one day I said to God, I know enough about you, God. I can handle this world on my own. Now that was the most foolish thing I ever said in my life, because how many of you know I didn't create nothing up in this piece? So I'm a guest on the planet, and my job is to show love and do what I can to be helpful. We're created to be loving. We were created to be a blessing. We're blessed to be a blessing. So through that experience and starting all over, things were given to me. And let me tell you something, that took a lot off of my pocketbook to start all over, my mental wellness to start all over, financial wellness, health, because when you're sick in the mind, you get sick in the body. So what I've been given a lot of furniture, and I found out that a lot of people want their items to be given away, want their items to go to someone for free. A lot of you think that when people are putting things out on their front lawn that it's going for a good cause, but it doesn't. People pick those items up and they get paid to take them to the dump. a dumpster, and then that messes up our landfills and our waterways. Here we are surrounded by the Great Lakes in here in Michigan, and our waterways are now messed up. We're messing up the mammals and the fish and the things in the they get all these barnacles on their skin, and it takes a kind person or someone to come along and help rid them of that debris. So we're helping the environment and helping communities. So now the White Charity Foundation, you're going to hear much more about that. Along with the Lions Club International, we work with many different organizations that find housing for people, and then we go in and put the furniture into the homes. If you would like to make a donation, you can go to metrodetroitlions.org and hit the Recycling the Environment button. And your money goes towards helping for the truck, the gas, and the movers, a stipend for the movers. It doesn't come to us, it goes right back into the community. So please go to metrodetroitlions.org, hit the recycling furniture button, and make a donation today so that we can help more and more people. You yourself might need some help, or one of your loved ones. And we put wonderful, beautiful pieces of furniture into the homes of those that we serve. So that's just one of the things. One of the other guests that we'll have on sometime soon is the Wayne County Jail Outreach. A lot of us either know someone that's in jail or in prison, or have loved ones or family members. And like never before, I have seen, like I told you, I've been doing prison, working in the prison, serving in the prisons for over 20 years. And I've never seen the amount of people that are coming out now, that are returning citizens. And actually, right here, I've got some statistics. There are many people. There are more than 1.8 million men and women are incarcerated. Let me say that again. There are over 1.8 million men and women that are incarcerated. Now that's around the United States. And there are 1.5 million children with a parent in prison. Those numbers are staggering. 1.5 million children with parents in prison. So there are many different organizations that help the children, um, but they primarily help them during Christmas. But I want you to know that people need help more than just one time a year. Even when we want to give, our biggest giving time that we want to give and help others is during Christmas, where that's a wonderful thing to do whenever we can help. But I'm here to tell you that people need to help. They need help all the time. There's always someone that needs help. And another one of my readings, it says, "He that lends to the poor gives to the Lord." So you want to do something to help in your life. We all have challenges. Right now, I've got so many things going on, good things and some challenging things. I can't even share my things because nobody wants to hear it anyway, and half the people wouldn't believe, the things that are going on. But nonetheless, things happen in life. It's how you handle it. It's how you process it in your mind. What positive things are you going to put out into the universe? What positive things? Our words have power. We have to speak them into the universe. We are not just this flesh and blood that we see, that we can touch. We are spirits and we have power. And when we put it out into the universe, it it tends to move and shift things for you and your family and your loved ones, or whatever you're putting out. You can put out bad and you can put out good. We all know the verse that says life and death lie in the power of the tongue, and you eat the fruit of what you speak. What are you speaking? Are you speaking life or are you speaking death? I said earlier today that, I had lost some homework. So I think I mentioned I'm taking a social media class so that I can get much better at this whole social media thing. I've been doing this podcast now for 4 years, but there's still a whole host of things that I need to learn with Instagram and Chat GPT and AI. And so I'm taking a class. Right now, there's classes are open. Um, Class time and registration is taking place now at all colleges. Of course, all of our K through 12, they're already in school, but all the colleges have classes taking place now. Actually, they started in January, but for second term classes, you might still be able to register. And Wayne County Community College District has classes for if you're 60 and over, all of the classes are free. So I'm taking a communications class and a grant writing class because it's been over 20 years. I used to write grants 20 years ago, and things have changed, and then things I need to be refreshed on. But so I was doing some homework last night and moved to another screen and lost it all. Lost an extensive amount of work that I had was on a flow. You know how sometimes you can be on a flow and you're just typing, you just writing and it's coming to your brain. Well, I was on a flow, lost it all right at the end. So I had said earlier, I said, "Oh, and I'm just sick about it." And I had to, oh, take that back. I'm not sick about it. It's challenging. I'm disturbed by it, but I wasn't sick. Be careful what you say, because you can speak sickness into your own life. So be mindful of those types of things. But again, we're going to have the Wayne County Jail. We've already had one of the people on, Elder Orlando Gregory, who is over the Wayne County Jail ministries, and he and Reverend Samuel Spruill have a mentoring program, and I had an opportunity to attend the program. They mentor the men while they're in prison and then when they return home. And I had an opportunity to attend the men that are still incarcerated in this mentoring program, and I tell you, it was wonderful. Even all the guards and everybody was saying what you all are doing here is greatly impacting. They're acting different, their attitudes are different, they don't have as much attitude as they used to have. People always ask me, why do you work in prison ministry? Why do you go to the prisons? Aren't you afraid? No, I don't know about you, but there, but for the grace of God go I. Michelle Turner White has done some stuff in her lifetime. Now, I don't do those things anymore, thank you, Lord, but I've done some stuff in my time. But guess what? Many of us have. Many of us have done many different things. None of us are perfect. Um, so, yes, I go into the prison. I'm not afraid, but there are guards everywhere. So, you really don't have a reason to be afraid. But nonetheless, this mentoring program they're doing is doing a wonderful work and helping many people. But more and more people are coming out. I think I just mentioned that Dr. Sabrina, who will also be a guest, she has gotten funding to house and create 100 homes. That tells you if the government is saying over, and each of these homes will house 6, 7 to 10 people, depending on the size of the home. That means the government knows they're getting ready to let a lot of people go. So maybe you're listening today. Maybe you have a loved one or know someone that has a loved one that's in prison. If they're in Macomb, they need to be coming to our services. They need to get involved with the mentoring programs. Um, we serve there every first and third Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then they have mentoring classes every Thursday evening. But they'll know who Michelle Turner White is. They'll know who Orlando Gregory is, and they know who Samuel Spruill is, and Florence Piernas. So get in touch. We're also at Huron Valley Prison. Get in touch. Come to the services. People are coming home. We're helping them when they come home. I was so blessed. About 2 weeks ago, we were out um, delivering furniture to people. So we picked up furniture from about 3 different locations because we pick up the furniture. So if you have things that you want to, that are still nice things, but someone else can use them, give me a call at 248 We'll pick it up and we'll give it to someone. And we try to give things to people the same day that we pick them up. So this particular Saturday, 2 weeks ago, we had 3 pickups and 4 drop-offs. People got beds and couches, and someone got a king size bed that was only 27 days old. Nice things, I'm trying to tell you. Very nice things. Couches and sleepers and pots and pans and brooms and vacuums, all the things that we use for our home. We get them and we give them away to those in need. So I was fortunate to have several people that had recently returned from one of the prisons that I served in. And they were the people, some were receiving furniture and some were helping us move. That was a double blessing to be able to help people in need just as I was helped. We all need help at some point in our lives. Don't ever think that you're not a man or a woman living on an island. It takes each one of us to help. Thus, community updates. You need to know what's happening in the community. You need to know where you can get resources. You need to know where the food is, where the money is, where the housing is. Crossroads is one of the agencies that is really helping a lot of people to get housing. And you can give them a call. You can look it up on the internet and give them a call. I was blessed enough to go to a dinner with Mayor Duggan the other day, and a luncheon rather with Mayor Duggan, who has done a wonderful job, far above what I even thought he was going to do when he became the mayor of Detroit. But he's done a wonderful job, and I was able to share with him about what the White Foundation and the Lions Club are doing in the environmental furniture recycling program, and I'm looking forward to how he's going to assist us with that program. He really loved hearing about it. So you'll hear more about that as we go. We're going to have, I mentioned, we're going to have the Charles Wright Museum on next week. And then there are just different things that we're going to have mental health. Wayne County Community College District's Ted Scott campus has a mental health conference coming up soon. And, it's part of our job to help keep our children, keep ourselves safe because we have mental challenges, and keep our children safe. Keep them safe and keep them healthy. So we're going to be telling you more about that conference as it comes up. It'll be in April, I believe. And so you'll hear more about that. But we're going to have different topics and services and organizations. Maybe you have a book that you want to get the information out and let someone know about the book that you have. There's an organization called Together with the Alliance. We're going to have a representative on from that organization that will be sharing some wonderful things. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have Calvin Mann, who has a mentoring program for boys. There are a lot of programs out here for the women, for the young ladies, and where that's wonderful. I'm on the board of Sisters Journeying Together, which is a wonderful program, and we help and service women. But there needs to be many more programs for the young men. We have to keep the order, people. One of the things that has gotten us out of order is the women are doing more, the women are making more money, the women, the women, the women. That's good. I'm a woman. That's good. But the order was for the men are the head, and I don't care who doesn't like it. I'm just saying that's the order of the earth. God created the man first, and then the women help them. You might think that's old fashioned, but there is nothing new under the sun. That is the order of how things were done for our good, not for our demise, for our good. Let the man be the man. Let the man be the man. Stop trying to climb the pole and take out the garbage. Let him take out the garbage, cook the meal, and maybe he cooks. I'm not going to get into all that because people do different things and different things work for different people's households. I'm fine with it. If it works for you, it works for me. But we're going to have Calvin Mann on, who has a male mentoring program, and he's going to be sharing some of the wonderful things they're doing. And they're also looking for more male mentors to help. There are so many children that don't have fathers because many of them are locked up. Many of them have just walked away. Maybe you're a father and you're listening this evening and you don't spend a lot of time with your children. I don't care if it's been 10 years, 2 years, or 20 minutes. Your children need you. If you have girls or boys, we were created man and woman, and so that we can raise these children, because there's things that the child learns from both the man and the woman. There are different things. I have a son, and I couldn't raise him. I became divorced when he was younger, and it took his father and I to raise him, as well as God has just blessed me so abundantly. He's an awesome young man, and I'm just very thankful. But I speak things over his life continually, And one of the things that I don't, people say, well, how do you do this? Why do you try not to do that? And why do you try not to do that? Because the Bible tells me that my seed will be, if I choose to walk uprightly before the Lord. Does that mean I'm perfect? Absolutely not. Uh, Absolutely not. Let me say that three times. Absolutely not. But it tells me that if I try to walk uprightly in this earth and do right things, then my seed will be mighty in the earth, and wealth and riches will be in their house. Find things, I don't care what train of thought you believe in, what level of faith, we all believe in a God. Whether you call him Allah, whether you call him Jehovah, whatever you call him, we believe in God. It's who we say Jesus is where we differ. But whatever train of thought you believe in, speak it, do it, live it. Stop just talking about it. Don't just, people sometimes, some trains of thought like to refute the Bible. And what I found is that people that do that, they spend more time refuting the Bible than getting out and helping in the community, than getting out and helping in their families. What are you doing? You want to be found doing something. Do something. Help somewhat in some way, not just on Christmas, and that's fine if you're helping on Christmas. Find something that you can do to help people in the community. And one of the things that you can do is keep tuning in right here to community updates and you can hear about various things. We're going to be taking tours and doing some live things at different places. We're looking to have different people that teach on various historical things, the Sankofa exhibit, the Black Caucus, and this is not a black show. This is a show for every culture. I believe in every culture. We've had many different people on, so we've had different political people on, and we're looking to have many more because that is also part of our community to know what's happening. For all the people who were boycotting the inauguration, I didn't understand that because even if you don't like someone who's becoming a candidate, don't you want to hear what they're going to say, how they're going to make change? So I didn't understand that. I watched it and I was glad that I heard the things, and I'm seeing that some of those things have now started to take place. We're going to have people on from the school system because there are changes that are happening within our school system throughout the country. So you want to hear about it right here on Community Updates. Know how to properly prepare yourself and your children for the changes that are taking place. Maybe you might have to look at some alternative schooling methods for your children. Maybe not. I was quite saddened to hear they're trying to take away the um, uh, uh, breakfast and food programs. I hope that does not. I understand it's paused now, and I hope that that does not continue because our children need food. That helps their brain to function better, and they're not all getting food in the morning, a healthy breakfast or a healthy lunch. Um, I can remember when my son was younger, and I ended up becoming a commissioner in the city of Southfield, primarily because I had a son and I was very active in getting him involved in different things in the community, as well as staying involved with his education. And so I ended up becoming the vice president of the PTA board. And when I would go and sit in his classes, something that I said I would never do, my mother used to come, and sometimes my father, and sit in my classes, not my sister's. But, I was the child that gave my parents just a little bit more challenge. And so they would come and sit in my class, and I sat in my son's class. And what I saw, because we lived in Southfield when there weren't that many people of color in the city in the early 80s. And so what I saw was that the teachers did not know how to deal with this influx of other cultures that were coming into the school system. And so I set up to have a in-service for the instructors so that they could learn how to deal with them. Different cultures teach different ways. Our culture, you got to tell Johnny to sit down. Our Johnny's not gonna cuss you out. Your Johnny might cuss you out. Our Johnny's gonna sit his behind down. So you have to tell them that they were allowing girls to sit on the laps of boys. No, little girl, get your butt up off that boy and go sit down in your chair. I had to say that, and I wasn't even the instructor. But the instructor was afraid to say that to the child. We cannot. I was listening to something just the other day on a TikTok or something where the one of the ladies was sharing, one of the politicos was sharing how um, the one of the challenges that we're having in our school system is that everybody's afraid. The board members are afraid of the higher board members. The principals are afraid of the board members. The teachers are afraid of the principals, and the students aren't afraid of anybody. You should not be afraid of students. I used to teach in Detroit public schools, and when I would walk into my classroom, one of the first things that I would say is, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, and this is what we're going to be doing this semester, and I'm going to treat you like ladies and gentlemen, and I expect the same treatment. If you do not want to be here, the door is right there. Feel free to use it." And I had wonderful classes, and even some of the instructors, other instructors that the colleagues that I was working with would come and say, "How do you get your class to be so calm and be interactive with you?" Because I'm treating them like ladies and gentlemen. Now, mind you, I thank God that that happened, because I also feel for our teachers, our educators, and particularly in K through 12. They have children that are squatting, children that don't have um, proper things that they need that would help in their education, clothing, warm clothing during the winter months. And you'll find yourself wanting to take them home or wanting to help them, and teachers should not have to spend their own money for all of the tools and things that they use to have an effective classroom. Things do need to be done in our school system to make that better. My daughter-in-law is a teacher, and she puts couches and all kind of things that she brings from home. She wanted my couch one day. I said, absolutely not. You got to get your own couch. Go to the Salvation. Go somewhere. We'll try to get you one for free that's donated. But to make a better classroom environment, a lot of time our instructors have to purchase their own materials for your students. Get involved with your children. You go to the PTA member meetings. You get involved with and help the instructors. It is not incumbent upon the instructors to be the only ones that are teaching our children. You've got to do the homework with the children. I can remember being at a PTA meeting, and the instructor, my son at this time was in the fifth grade, and she said, "I know, Miss White, that many times parents think that children don't need help with their education because they're in the fifth grade or sixth grade or whatever grade you are, and they do." She said they need help all throughout high school education. Stay on top of it. Sit down with them. Work with them. You say, "Well, I don't know the math." Learn it. There are all types of tools and programs on Google. Do a Google search. A lot of these state tests that the students are taking now, there are samples of the questions for the state test. Have your students study for the state test. How do I know this? I look them up. I look them up for my grandchildren. I let them know. I can't remember the names of the various tests that the children take now in K through 12, but whatever it was then, I looked it up, and there are sample tests for them to study from. You won't know that. Again, I don't want to see you perish because of a lack of knowledge. Don't just use Google and Instagram just for social, your social entertainment. Use it for education. Use it for resources. People say, "Well, I need food." Why? There are food pantries everywhere, in every area, in every state. Find out where they are in your state. Go to your library, or go online and look at the various things that your libraries are offering. Libraries offer some wonderful programs and training, and a lot of it is free. You might say, "I need to take a computer class and I'm not 60, so I can't take it it'll cost me to take it at a college." Well, many of your community centers within your community offer free training. Find out, or little cost in the training. Go to your libraries. You should be in touch with your city. Have your um, whatever city you live in and whatever state you live in, you should be on part of your email system should be your city, your main city in the surrounding area, and your actual city. So for me, for instance, I live in Southfield, so I'm on Southfield City Government's web page and on City of Detroit web page. With all of the different leaders throughout the city of Detroit, I get so much email from all of them and their different meetings, and sometimes I'm a little overloaded. But the information is there. I'm able to see where they're going to meet, what programs are available, what new uh, item or restaurant or service is being provided because I signed up for the city that I live in, the suburb that I live in, and the main local city. You go and sign up for those emails so that you can get the information for where you are. Again, you tuned in right here on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I'm your host, Michelle White, and you're watching us right now on Community Updates. We're going to have many other things. Let me know of some of the topics that you would like to talk about. Being a single person, I want to talk about singleness. I want to talk, that's going to be one to talk about. I want to talk about singleness and sex, single sex and staying celibate. Or if you're not staying celibate, we're going to talk about married couples, how to be married couple. Many people are married, and for the life of me, I've been divorced for way too long, and and many of these women don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean, don't know how to keep their bodies clean. They don't know how to do anything. What's up with that? You got married and you can't even cook anything? Take a class. They have classes that teach you how to cook. Go get with a grandmother or somebody that can help show you how to cook a meal. So, a good meal. Get out the potato boxes and slice those potatoes yourself and smash them up and make some good homemade potatoes. But there are many different things. You say, well, they don't care if I cook. Yes, they do. Every man walking this earth wants to smell some victuals cooking in the kitchen. They lied to you if they say they don't, just okay, make sandwiches. They're lying. They're saying that for your, just to please you. Ladies, these men want more than just booty and tits. So get it together. Learn how to cook, learn how to clean, learn how to be resourceful. If you have somebody that's in a business, you should be their secretary. People used to always say, "Oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?" No, I could teach your wife. You could pay me, and I'll teach your wife how to go on online and search for things. I'll teach her how to use the computer so that she can help you in your business. Help your helpmate. Help. Be a helper. I don't care what business. I can think of someone that was married to a dentist, and I was really hoping that they would help take the dentistry to another level. And I don't think that happened, and thus they ended up getting divorced. But not that wasn't the only reason. They had some other challenges. But I don't care what industry somebody's in or what they're doing. We all need help, both the women and all for all you men that think that women are just so strong and they don't need you, and they do. It might not be the same need as somebody else, but we still need you. We still want your help. We still want to have a conversation. We still, two heads are better than one. And I read somewhere that the threefold cord is not easily broken. So we need each other. We are stronger together than we are apart. We're stronger together mentally, physically, financially, sexually, every area. We're stronger together than we are apart. And that even means in our communities. If my neighbor is suffering and their grass is not being taken care of, guess what? That makes my property value go down. So we all help one another. If my neighbor is having challenges with their children or challenges in whatever area, we have to help one another. When I was growing up, you knew all your neighbors, and you helped one another, and you talked to them, and you came out of the houses, and we helped one another. We spoke with one another. We interacted. And we could at that time still say, "Can I borrow a cup of sugar?" I don't think people do that too much anymore. But I'm blessed to live on a street and in a community where we do still have some camaraderie amongst our with our neighbors, with my neighbors, and I appreciate that. What kind of neighbor are you? Are you one that just goes to your house and you're four no more? Or do you interact with your community, with your neighbors? Do you get involved in the city in which you live in? Get involved. Find out what community resources are available to you. Find out where things are. And if it's not just for you, share it with someone else. So, again, we're right here on Community Updates. And again, we're going to have the Detroit caucus will be on. I'm looking to have someone come, hopefully Jamon Jordan, for Black History Month and come and share some things. I haven't finished speaking with him, reached out to him yet, but hopefully he'll be able to come. He's one of the uh, renowned speakers that we have in this area, and I'm looking to have some people in other states as well, and to come on and talk about some things. And I've recently met John Boyd, who's with Rock Nation, and he has started a Club 21, and he's been having some renowned speakers, wonderful speakers from around the country, come on and share information. And he's connecting communities and connecting people so that we can pool our resources and help one another from around the country, from around the world. He's had on world speakers. So I'm looking to have him come on, share about some of the things he's doing in his new book, The 21 Love Languages of God. He's going to share about that and some of the other things that he's doing. And I know people will say, you can't have these papers. Well, I found out there's this new, some kind of app or some kind of something you can put on your phone where you can read from it like a teleprompter. So I'm looking into that. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. That's why I took a class on this social media and the AI and the chat GPT and Instagram and just how to do it a little better. So just as I'm trying to help you, have patience with me too. And I appreciate you. So we've got many things that are coming up. And different things that we're going to be discussing. Again, if you would like to be a sponsor of Community Updates, give me a call. If you want to highlight your business or your product or whatever you're selling, let me know. I would love to have you be a sponsor and do commercials for you. 248 238 4863. That's my number. And then we have ABB Well Strategies, who has a film coming up on Tuesday, February the 11th at 6:30 p.m. No, 6 o'clock p.m. So you want to get there at 5:30 p.m. This one will be held at the MJR Theater in Sterling Heights. Call today 248 988 8200 and register and let them know that your tickets are compliments of WJZZ Community Updates. And also, we had a wonderful guest on last week. Go back and all of our shows are, you can find them and rewatch them on YouTube. We had Jackie Lang on talking about taxes and some of the new tax laws to prepare for in 2025. And then she shared wonderful information about what you should be doing now before April the 15th. And if you have time, there are different extensions and things that you can get on taxes as you're preparing your taxes, or maybe if you've already done your taxes, you want to know some of the new things to look out for and start preparing for your 2025 taxes. Go back and listen to that show. That was last week. And then we're going to have some other tax consultants on as well. Maybe that's a business that you have. Give me a call if you want to come on and talk about that. Or whatever your business is, or whatever your product or service is. Let someone know. This is a venue. This is a platform that you can come on. 248 238 4863, Michelle White. So we're going to have some MODAC and the arts. We're going to be doing some things with arts and entertainment, some youth programs as it relates to arts and entertainment, and things that are available for your youth around the country. school information. I've mentioned that already as the schools are changing and some laws and things are changing with the schools, what to prepare for. I share with you the classes that I'm taking, and we're going to be talking more about prison reform and how our prisoners are being acclimated into our society and how we can help. Um, when I went through the things that I went through, I asked God, why am I going through all this? How did I get from here to here? And He said to me, because I'm going to use you one day and I can't have you looking down on anybody for anything. And because I've done some stuff, it's like, now I've done some stuff that people that have been out in the world have never done. And I was not out in the world. I grew up a good little church girl, didn't know nothing from nothing, and end up going from there all the way to Z, from A to Z. But again, it's so that I could never. I mean, I needed it because I was hard headed, and I needed to learn some disciplines. But then I also know that part of that is because I see the avenues and the areas that I'm being used in now, so that I can't look. I don't look down on anybody about anything because I can't. I've done too much myself to look down on you about whatever you're doing or done. And that's even something for people that are in our churches. It's time to come out of the church and go out into the street. Be in the church. I'm not saying church is good. Learn and go to church or whatever sanctuary or temple or that you belong to. But go out into the community. There are people looking and waiting for you to come out and be of help and be of service to them. I can remember one time picking up a prostitute, and the Spirit said to me to put your agenda aside. I need to use you for this young lady. Within 7 to 10 days, I was used to help that young lady. She got into the car, and one of Kirk Franklin's songs came on at a time when he is a gospel artist, and at the time he was being greatly ridiculed because of the type and the beats and the type of music that he was playing. And he let the church know, he said, I didn't make this music for you, the church. This is so it can be played on the secular station so that other people will come to know the God that we're talking about. So this particular day, this prostitute gets into my car, and one of his songs came on. She immediately started crying. She said, I don't like being like this, but I came to your church. Now, again, I was tore up from the floor up. I wasn't going to church right then myself. But she said, I came to your church because even when you're out doing things you shouldn't be doing, if you have God in you, He's still visible. So she said, I came to your church and they didn't treat me right. I guess I didn't have the right type of clothes on or didn't look right. And they were mean to me. Next time you walk into the church building, ask yourself, are you mean? Are you distant? Do you only speak and stay in the cliques that you're in with your group, your little bench? You don't own a bench unless you bought that bench. Some people say I did buy it because I paid my tithes. Whatever. You're giving for the church house, and anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But go and talk to people that you don't know. Be able to, and I get it, everybody doesn't want to touch the untouchable and love the unlovable. I'm out in the streets where I meet and talk and touch all types of people. Um, but when they come into your sanctuary, a sanctuary is supposed to be a place of solace, a place where people can get some rest. But if we're mean to them, um, that's not a good thing. So ask yourself, am I talking to other people? I don't know this person over here. Let me go and speak to that person. Be a greeter. Be kind. Be loving. That is huge. Be loving. Be kind. So this young lady, I was used to help her within 7 to 10 days. She had a new home, a new place, a new home, a car, clothing, and a job. I was amazed. Had nothing to do with me other than my obedience to listen to God and do what He told me to do. As a matter of fact, at one point I even said, well, maybe I could have her come stay with me. He said, I ain't tell you to do that. Just be quiet and listen to do what I'm telling you to do. And again, within 7 to 10 days, a short period of time, this lady had said to God, if you want me, then somebody that knows you is going to have to come to me. I was tore up from the floor up, and He used me. If God can use a donkey, He can use you. He used me, and I was a total donkey. And within 7 to 10 days, the young lady, her life was changed around. I can't tell you what her name is, what she looks like. That wasn't important. It was for me to follow and help that young lady. And so, if she happens to be out there listening, I would love to see how she's doing now. But I'm sure she's doing well because she had a cry. God heard her cry and answered her cry. Have you cried out? When was the last time you cried out? I'm crying out all the time right now because I'm telling you, I'm going through some things. But life didn't say it would be without challenge. But God did say that He would bring us through whatever thing happens. And again, we thank you for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. My why of doing this show is to help you to strengthen and help build stronger communities, stronger people, and stronger families. So as we listen to this song,